Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih kerana menjoin our forum. Kami daripada student UUM. Hari ini forum kami akan menceritakan tentang manufacture for solid waste generated by household in Taman Ria. Sebelum saya mulakan, saya ingin memperkenalkan our member iaitu Yong iaitu Nur Nadia, Florence Teo Chia Huan, dan saya sendiri Nur Hamiza dan Tan Yong Zhi. Untuk mengetahui lebih lanjut tentang forum ini, saya akan serahkan kepada Nur Nadia.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Nadia. Okay, before I start the presentation session, I would like to thanks to the community of Taman Ria who are willing to attend today. Okay, today I would like to share a little later about the domestic waste found in residential area. Maybe there are still people here who do not know the type of domestic waste that exists. It is important for all of us to know so that we can dispose of our waste properly. So, without realizing it, we produce a lot of household waste. We may also have thrown all the waste into the trash without considering if there are any items that can be recycled. However, this is not a good way to get rid of such waste. This has a very bad effect on our environment and the life around it. The amount of household waste generated by a household can vary depending on factors such as income and lifestyle. We know today all the individuals spend a lot of their income in terms of food, lifestyle, and buying goods. Without us realizing all this, it causes a lot of waste disposal. But not all of us cannot to spend our money for buying the things that we like. But we need to be smart in managing the issue of waste disposal. For example, we can donating clothes, eliminating single-use plastic, and buying sustainable option. Okay, do you know guys that waste can actually be classified into different type of domestic waste. In addition, some type of domestic waste can be recycled, but other cannot be recycled. There are 5 types of domestic waste that we need to know. First is solid waste. Solid waste can be classified as included in the type of domestic waste. It is divided into the following like plastic waste, waste paper, metal, ceramic and glass. Now I will explain one by one. First is plastic waste. This type of domestic waste consists of bag, container, jars, bottles, and many other that can be found around your home. Plastic cannot be biodegraded, but many types of plastic can be recycled. Plastic should not be combined with other common waste. It should be sorted and placed in a recycling bin. Okay, next is waste paper. This type of domestic waste include packaging materials such as newspaper, cardboard, and other products. Paper is very easy to recycle and reuse. We can put waste paper in a recycling bin or take them to a recycling center near where you live. Okay, next is metal. This type of domestic waste can be found in various forms throughout your home. Most metal can be recycled. Collecting this, we can sell to buyer or even send it to the nearest recycling center to dispose of this type of domestic waste properly. Okay, lastly is ceramic and glass. This type of domestic waste can be easily recycled. We can find a special recycling bin to dispose of it the right way. Okay, second type is domestic waste is recycle waste. Recycle waste including all waste items that can be converted into usable product. Solid goods such as paper, metal, furniture, and organic waste can all be recycled. Instead of we disposing of this item with regular waste, we can better dispose of them in recycling center rather than letting them out in a landfill that could pollute the environment. If you are not sure whether the waste can be recycled or not, look at the packaging plastic or the diagram on the recycling lid. Most products will clearly state whether they are recyclable or not. Okay, next type is liquid waste. liquid waste is one of type of domestic waste in residential area. Usually it is found in household. This waste include sewage water, organic liquid, washing water, detergent waste and even rainwater. Okay. Next type is organic waste. Organic waste is a type of domestic waste that we often see in other residential area as well. All supplies food waste, garden waste, dirt and rotten meat are classified as organic domestic waste. Over time, this type domestic waste will be fertilized by the decomposition of microorganisms. However, this does not mean that you can throw it anywhere you like. Organic waste in landfill will cause the pollution harmful methane gas. So it cannot be thrown away just like that. Instead, this residue need to be disposed of in a special way. So you have to throw it into this provided by pihak perbandaran, or you can also use grey leather bag or organic bag for disposal of this waste in the right way. Okay, finally is hazardous waste. Many do not know that hazardous waste is also included in the category of domestic waste type. It's belong to waste which involve all type of waste that are flammable, toxic, corrosive and contain reactive material. This item can be harmful to all of us as well as the environment, and they should be disposed of properly. So I hope that you all clear about the type of domestic waste available so that you can dispose of waste in the right ways. Okay, next. Okay, next, before we go on to the session on the steps that need to be addressed in solid waste disposal, I will summarize the problem that occurred in Tamaria as a result of an interview conducted with Encik Zamri last week. Okay, what can I conclude here? The main causes of the problem is the lack of frequency garbage truck entering the housing area in Tamaria, as well as irregular schedule in garbage collection, resulting residents missing to dispose of waste. The lack of collection management has worsened the situation around the area due to the increasing number of garbage piles. The roadside area is the main location of garbage dump for residents in the area. Okay, the second problem of the causes of solid waste disposal is due to the lack of proper bins provided around the residential area. And systematic rubbish management occur because some houses do not have rubbish bin and some provide their rubbish bin in front of their house. However, some residents still pile solid waste on the sidewalk or housing entrance. When the residents have become more frequent in committees such as the roadside area become the official waste disposal area for the resident in the housing area. Meanwhile, public places such as playground and artificial lake in residential area also need a sufficient quantity of rubbish bin because children like to throw their food rubbish anywhere. So, among the cause of waste disposal everywhere is the irresponsible attitude of individual. Lack of environment education is one of the factor of housing residents become irresponsible individuals as they are not exposed to the effect environment pollution on the environment and human being. This cause the resident of the housing do not have the self-awareness to care for and preserve the environment as best as possible. Residents do not care about the impact that will occur in the housing area. This attitude can be seen when many residents throw waste in the open and in a place that should not to throw the waste. Okay, so as the result of this discussion, I was able to conclude that residential area in Tamaria is expressing the issue of garbage disposal as well as the lack of public awareness on the importance of disposing of solid waste in the right place. So to overcome the problem, we have provided a way how this solid waste can be managed. Well, we will go to the next session which is the step to overcome the disposal of solid waste, which will be explained by next presenter. Okay, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. My name is Andy. So let's present about the way to overcome the problems with multiple disposal waste in Tamaria. The main solution that we conclude to overcome the problem is to held a recycling competition in Taman Ria. A proactive action can truly motivate residents to take part in the competition activities. And we found that there are two major challenges toward implementing the activities, including poor recycling quality due to lack of education and knowledge about recycling. Such people know that recycling is one of the good initiatives to sustain an environment, but they often unsure of what should go into recycling. On the other hand, there are some people who do not realize the importance of implementing recycling. Hereby, we have designed a recycling competition for the community due to municipal waste issues in Taman Ria. And the first is purpose and objective of the recycling competition. The purpose of the recycling competition is to solve the municipal waste in Taman Ria, and there are also three objectives, which is to raise the resident awareness towards waste segregation, and to educate the residents about knowing recycling, and to reduce the solid waste from the household. And next, I will talk about the rules of the recycling competition. The first rule is every household must take part in the competition, and every household will send minimum one member to participate in the competition. The recycling item need to separate based on categories such as paper, plastic, and glasses, and not recyclables collected will be removed from the count. And next is the contest detail. The competition will held every weekend and Sunday, and every household should send a minimum of one person to take part in the recycling competition, and they need to bring the total recyclables collected to the public garden in Taman Ria, and one who achieved the highest weight of recycled item among the residents will win the competition. And the prizes are listed below, such as the first prize is 200 ringgit, second prize 150 ringgit, and third prize 100 ringgit. And the location is at public garden in Taman Ria, and the target audience for the competition is also several tips to suggest to the community to run a successful recycling competition through an online forum. And before running the competition, in the forum, our members will do service learning, such as educating the resident how to segregate different types of waste based on three categories, which are paper, plastic, and glass. Meanwhile, we will share the benefits of implementing recycling and how municipal waste impacts on our health and environment, such as air pollution and flooding causes. After that, there are three volunteers needed among the residents to conduct the competition. They need to find sponsors to acquire the prize in order in the recycling competition. After competition, the leader board shows the name and current rank of the competitors as an honorable reputation and motivates more people to implement recycling in their daily life. So by that, the recycling competition not only can solve municipal waste issues in Taman Ria, but in meantime it able to raise the awareness towards sustaining a healthy environment. And that's all for my part. I'll pass my explanation. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is going to share with you guys about the 9 steps for implementing an effective recycling competition. The first step is set the rank of competition. Decide the duration of the recycling competition to be by assessing the resource. For example, it's estimated that the trends could be happen in 3 months. Therefore, the length of competition will be set in 3 months. The second step is establish a baseline to measure success. Before we start the competition, it should be conduct a waste audit at the public gardens in Taman Ria, and the total waste as the baseline. The baseline is used to evaluate the success by monitoring the percentage of improvement from the baseline. The third step is develop a the educational message to the target audience. There are two educational messaging, which are what should I recycle and how do I recycle. Such questions focus on specific environment issue when waste happen in their housing area, social benefit that best reflect the value and concern of your target audience. For two is include all the detail of the competition and sharing the relevant knowledge such as how to segregate different types of waste, the benefit of implementing recycling, and the impact of municipal waste in our health and environment. Next. The following step is selecting the educational approach to reach target audience. There are many educational approaches to introduce the recycling competition, such as new article in the local paper or annual special event that get the community involved. The objective of selecting educational message is to capture the attention of target audience and deliver an effective message and motivate them to take participant in the competitions. That's all from my part, and I will pass to next member to continue the step for implementing an effective recycling competition. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Theo. And hi, everyone. You to explain the following step. So the fifth step, check before the competition starts. So before the competition starts, the organizer should make sure that all the recycling bins are properly labeled. For example, blue bins are for paper, green is for glass as well. After that, it should be placed in the stated locations. Okay, let's move on to the next step. Monitor progress. Yeah, okay, monitor progress and track results. So the person in charge in the competition should always take regular walkthroughs and see if the recyclables are being thrown in the right recycling bins. Then they have to send the result of this report to the organizers. The seventh step is to connect with the residents, as we know that motivations to engage residents in the. Therefore, it is suggested to write a simple note on desk such as "Thank you for recycling" to reward their good recycling behavior. Moreover, it might be having some questions about the recycling asked by residents. So this is a good opportunity to raise their awareness of the environmental issues as well as boost their interest in the competitions. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so as you can see the slide here, the following step is to announce winners and celebrate. So it could be conduct a ceremony for announcing the winners, awarding the prizes and certificates for them. Besides that, the organizers also can share the competition results through the official community blog or social media, such as Facebook page or Instagram, to acknowledge their good habits. This is because some people were not motivated by the prize itself, but they just consider this behavior is a virtue. And our last step is to examine and conduct a follow-up survey. So the evaluations, the outcomes will be the last step to see whether the objectives are achieved or not. This step is very important because it uncovers the most valuable information regarding the effectiveness of education and outreach efforts. For instance, you may identify which materials are most commonly not recycled, and lack of recycling educations will influence the residents' recycling behavior. Thus, this information future. Furthermore, a follow-up survey should be conducted to the community after the competition. This post-competition survey is very helpful to determine their awareness level towards the waste segregations and the effectiveness of message being delivered. So that's all for the steps of implementing an effective recycling competition. Now I will pass to Miza to make a conclusion. Thank you.
Okay, for conclusion that I can say here, the environmental problem in this Tamaria because of due to proper the manufactured solid waste that resistant residential area and asymmetric garbage collection schedule. And this is because of 5 types of domestic waste that have Nadia said, because of solid waste, recycle waste, liquid waste, hazard waste. Besides that, in this form already show that we already have discussed the effect of waste household and disrupt resident comfort in daily activity affect the beauty of the environmental and just health and well-being. Therefore, several solutions have been proposed by us to address the environmental problem in this area for the short and long term that can apply to help. You guys can carry this idea to daily activity in better way. To provide the several steps such as waste segregation, compost collection, and recycle competition, and they are household can use this as to provide throughout the steps that have been suggested to ease their burden. Finally, we hope that this program in the household area can provide a way out for the resident for the garbage disposal problem. It is because although this matter to underestimate but affect their lifestyle, the issue will be fair when the problem is expected to continue to increase from time to time due to several factors that that can increase the amount of solid waste, such as increased population and lack of proper waste disposal knowledge practice in this residential area. That's all. That's all from our team. Before that, may I ask if you guys have any question want to ask us about your problem in the residential area?
So we don't have any question from the committee. So maybe we can stop until here. Thank you for the response. So so we will end for those yang attend for our forum. Okay, thank you so much.
Bye guys.